So what a better company and CEO to dialogue with on the impact of digital infrastructure and its implication on growth of companies than Wio Bank.
Thank you.
A bank that started focusing on the digital bank in the Middle East and have showcased tremendous growth, made it to launch and make an impact where other banks in the whole GCC failed to do so. A bank that turned to be profitable in only 11 months and totally leveraging on digital infrastructure and no physical shops, and despite that is growing a lot faster than others. So Jayesh, we've been in the industry for a year or two.
Yes.
So we've seen the implication of technology in general in growth of companies, and from the days where you need to have a fixed line to your business to be present to your customer, to the time that mobile-first strategy, the evolution of also of cloud-first. How is the digital infrastructure in general has shaped the way company established and grow, and how did that impact on Wio itself?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Khalifa. First, it's great to be here. I think, look, technology is changing at a pace that is so rapid. We just launched 2 years ago. We started building 4 years ago. I feel if we don't start changing rapidly now, we might become old tech. That's how quickly it's changing. If you look at Wio Bank, I think the idea started about 4 years ago. We built and launched a bank in a year and a half. Yeah. How is that possible? With a very small team. First, cloud infrastructure. We're natively on cloud, so we don't have to build everything ourselves. Half the software we consume from the cloud. The other half we build. The other thing is, because we are leveraging new technologies, our ability to build products faster and scale them out is requires significantly less effort than some of the companies using traditional platforms. So I think technology has been a huge accelerant in us getting it out, getting the bank out. I think the other big differentiator is consumer behavior. It's changing a lot. People want simpler, clearer experiences. So you might have great tech, but if you don't understand today's customer, you still don't win. We've done incredibly well, almost 250,000 customers, the highest NPS of a bank in the region, I think, yeah, of 74. Part of the driver is that the customers feel they are empowered. Yeah? We do 25 releases inside our app a day, and that technology enables us because we're always studying what our customers do and updating. So for us, it's been a huge accelerant, and we can see it in other industries too.
And if you look at the regulation in this space, I mean, I remember the days that government in all type of geographies were forcing the bank to have, on-premise solution, which meant not only that you'll have to manage your own servers and solution and capacities in-house, but also the advancement and development. How do you see the role of governments in general? I mean, putting the right policy, balancing the consumer protection from one angle, but also allowing businesses to launch fast, launch at a cost-effective manner, and evolve also into the future further. How do you see the balance?
Yeah, I think government plays a critical role. Yeah, I think in the UAE we are incredibly lucky. If you look at government infrastructure, I think it's probably the few places in the world where it might even be better than private sector. Yeah, in many cases, we have identity as a service. Yeah, and it's done incredibly well. Yeah, you have a regulator who understands what is important to protect the economy, but also where the growth is. Yeah, so allowing banks to start using digital ID, yeah, validating identity through video verification or EFR, like we do at the airports when we come in. I think the ecosystem is critical for companies to take the journey. I think the regulators here understand incredibly well how to make sure we protect the customer, but also what's next. So one of the few markets where you can be cloud native on a public cloud, which I think is a huge accelerant. Yeah, it allows us to bring services faster, cheaper, and better to our customers.
Okay, we managed to have a few minutes in the start without saying AI, so gotta say AI right now. So in the evolution of technologies, as I said, mobile first, cloud first, then a lot of the companies, including banks, start, optimizing their process, their activities, using some sort of AI. Well, started as RPA as a start, and then it moved forward to a lot of different AI use cases, generative AI, and now we're even moving to agentic AI, which will give the end user is more of a tailored solution. How do you use AI and Wio fully digital across the different line of business and servicing the customer?
Yeah, so I think it's a great question. I think, like you said, it's a term that is used a lot. I think AI for enterprises still has some room to go, because as an enterprise, you need to make sure you follow a certain set of rules, privacy and all the security and all the other rules that are there. Exactly like you said, one of the things we are testing AI bots, which I think is an evolution of robotics, yeah? Where they come, they do a specific task, they check a few things, they give you an answer. If they are wrong, they learn and do it right next time. So I think there's the fragmented implications that are there in AI that are across the banks. I think the bigger shift will come. Right now, if you look at an app, in the app, we tell you, Khalifa, go through the app, click this button, I'll take you there, click this button, then you can go there. In the future, what I envision is you will be able to dictate where you want to start and where you want to go. If you like pie charts better than me, and I like graphs, you will see the content you want in the manner you want. Right now, I think we still try to guide a customer through what they see. In the future, they have full flexibility. I think that's the transformation. And so when we think about ourselves, 2-year-old bank, when we see the stuff that's happening in AI, we are always wondering, will we soon be disrupted by something else, yeah, that is much more dynamic than we are? So I think we need to be on top of it. I think it needs to be enterprise grade, yeah, for it to work. But I do think it's the new internet. It's going to change experiences very quickly.
And while we're, every bank and every fintech solution, it like to spread its services across the full customer base. Also, when we are in the government summit, and government is about, delivering solutions also and services to its citizens, and shaping the way services from a government and from the whole society is being serviced. We've seen the call for financial inclusion by a lot of institutes, whether it's bank, whether it's fintech, in order, not to be serving just the highest level of the segments, but, to spread the services across all segments of society. And frankly, in the UAE, as we say, as we had made it early on, spread of all telecommunication services from mobile to internet access across the whole population of the UAE. Also, financial inclusion is an aim of the government of the UAE to spread it across the whole population. So how could Wio see this type of services spread across? And when I say financial inclusion, I don't mean only payment type of services, but I mean payment, wealth management, savings, and other. How do you see that evolve?
Yeah, I think, look, it's a great question. Yeah, we are still young and new, so we have a segment we are focusing on. But if I look at this segment, I think things need to be simple. They need to be efficient. I think with platforms like the AI platforms, you will be able to deliver services that are custom and cheaper. Yeah, I think EN Money, for example, is doing a fantastic job. Fabulous app with a wide range of services that cater to different nationalities, significantly customized. I think if you add a layer of, for example, credit on top, and microcredit is beginning to come into this market, yeah, then you start seeing these needs. Wealth, I think, is a little more challenging, yeah, just because of the level of investment, but insurance is another great product for them. So I think the way I see it, I think the regulator has a lot of regulations coming to drive this. I think the government's doing a lot to drive it. And I think organizations like ours will continue to invest and get this. I think, to me, technology is going to make it efficient and easy for you to serve any type of customers, yeah? Because previously, there might have been, from a cost perspective, too difficult to serve. But with the tech revolution that's going on, that's going to change very quickly.
In the morning, I participated in a session about the future of investment. And one of the discussion that we had, it's about the same point. How do we ensure that technology is used to democratize investment across the whole level of society? And for that, I know that Wio have launched Wio Invest last year, which is starting looking at stocks from US, from the UAE. A lot of the banks also in the UAE has introduced the local stocks in its own application, which I think it allowed also a larger segment, whether from the UAE national, whether the residents of the UAE that never thought of, buying shares in the country. How do you see such technological advancement in this domain to expand also the customer base for different type of wealth management?
Yeah, I think, look, this is great. It's funny, I've been here 16 years. I spend money at all these companies. I want to have a share. I want to have a share of Etisalat. I know my bills, yeah? So I think it's important we bring the access to these amazing companies to a larger pool. And that's exactly what Wio does. On Wio Invest, I think it's $1 to trade US stocks, but we also have IPOs of UAE companies. We have all the UAE companies, both on ADX and DFM, on our platform. And we are seeing a huge interest, not just from Emiratis, but expats, because they're building their lives here. They use these companies, they see how good and profitable they are, and they want a share of the growth too. So I think it's helping a lot. Awareness is one thing, and digital helps with awareness. I think the second big thing we are seeing in wealth is there used to be products you can only buy from your private bank. And many of us never could get access to that. Now we are seeing a huge democratization. Some of the cool things we are coming up with, you will get access to private credit at $10,000 ticket, yeah, which was previously undoable. You'll get access to private equity funds, yeah, which was left for the elites and the large funds, yeah. I think this democratization will help people plan and invest in a better future, yeah, and eventually these products will become in small pieces so that every segment of the economy can invest in them, yeah. So we are very excited. We think wealth is the one area where access.
Any specific example on use of AI to ensure one democratization of such a solution across larger segments and then tailor-made offering for the end user?
So I'll give you a snippet, yeah, of something that is being worked on. I was a big NVIDIA fan till about 3 weeks ago, after which it's not doing so well. But I like NVIDIA, yeah? I think they're doing cool stuff. We're working on a platform which you can say, I like NVIDIA, but NVIDIA has already got the higher share, yeah? What other things related to NVIDIA can I invest in? And the bot will go out and say, okay, these are 4 competitors to NVIDIA who are not as well known. These are 4 suppliers to NVIDIA, yeah? And these are maybe consumers, companies building on NVIDIA who send services. So now suddenly, the bot is able to tell you in milliseconds, the AI bot, more about companies and options you have. Then you can say, create a portfolio for me, yeah? And I want to put 30, 40% in each one of the buckets. And then you can ask the bot, optimize it for me. So suddenly, without a full RM and a whole large bank behind it, this bot is able to do things in milliseconds, yeah, that used to take days, yeah, and thousands in fees, yeah, almost for free. So this is something we're working on, and you'll start seeing this, yeah, you being able to say, hey, I want to retire. I have 2 girls. They're going to go to college soon. How is my retirement going to look? And this thing's going to help you plan and invest and diversify. So I think it'll become a lot more personal. And I think the coolest part is yet to come. Yeah, we'll be launching something cool this year. I think we'll make it super interesting.
So you have previously in investment the relationship manager that you assume he's the best out there to give you advice, then the bot now with the intelligence and the inputs and global coverage will be able to do. But there is always in the human mind, Mr. X and Mr. Y and Mr. Z and my friends in my circle. These guys are getting, return on their portfolio excess of 50, 60, 70. If I can just tap in to what they're doing and let them get rewarded from it. Maybe users sometimes still would love to follow a human, a successful human, rather than just a recommendation by the bot. What do you think of the social trading comparing to robo trading?
No, I think, look, it's you're absolutely right. Some folks are better at this than most of us are. It's one of the things we want to look at. But I think the human trading will come, yeah? And they've become like influencers, yeah? They go, you follow me, you give me a share of the growth you have, yeah? Which is fantastic. But I also think you're now going to get this AI personalities, yeah? Ahmed, a personality, and
so you're not going to call it a robo advisor.
Yeah.
You're going to call it Ahmed.
And they'll be able to. You might be able to follow Ahmed or John or whatever based on your preferences. And I think the proliferation of that is going to start within the next 2 years. Yeah. So you don't need to actively manage, but you still have people or AI bots you can follow to help you manage it.
So looking at in the room, I see some of the attendees are being up and down when it comes to crypto trading.
Yes.
And I know that you have added crypto in your portfolio. And I guess even crypto in the media also is being getting its up and down. I guess now we're in the upside of crypto. What do you think of adding the digital assets on the portfolio, and where do you see that, taking a larger coverage on your portfolio?
Yeah, so look, I think we were one of the first banks to have exposure to crypto. It's been doing very well the past 3 months. I think the winter is gone. So it's doing very well. I think it is becoming an asset class. I think customers have to be cautious, yeah? But it's becoming an asset class. You're starting to see governments and funds pouring a lot of money into things like Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum. Yeah? I think there are platforms that have capabilities. Like Ethereum has a ton of capabilities. It's not just a crypto based off of nothing. Yeah, and then you have Bitcoin because of limited demand, high demand and low supply. That has value generation. So I think that will continue. Yeah, at some point, I'm assuming more regulations will come on that. But I think the more exciting part on digital assets and digital finance is the rise of stablecoin. So in the UAE, we are very lucky. Our currency is pegged and it's fairly stable. But if you look at other countries whose currency goes down 15, 20% every year. Yeah?
Or more.
Or more.
Some of the regional countries.
So you're earning so much and you're losing faster than you're earning. Yeah. I think those countries, some of them have foreign exchange restrictions. Stablecoin becomes an interesting way of them to put away money and them to trade. The other big advantage with stablecoin is you can send money in milliseconds. Yeah? If you look at the traditional fiat networks, sending dollars to a place or euros to a place sometimes can take multiple days because there's multiple parties involved. I think in the decentralized system, it's a lot faster. What that will do is make money churn more and economies grow. So I am super optimistic about the role of these digital currencies as an enabler of trade and growth in the future. Cryptocurrencies itself is separate, but I think stable coins provide global value to citizens around the world.
So when you drive through Sheikh Zayed Road, I mean, you cannot help but seeing 1,001 companies, whether crypto, whether trading. Some of it is regional, but a lot of it international, and some of it you heard about it for the first time. Do you think a digital bank like Wio have an advantage, having its own customer base advantage over these, and why do you think?
Yeah, look, I think, I think regulators play an incredibly important role. Yeah? Their job is making sure customers are safe. Yeah? If you work so hard and get your money, you want to make sure it's safe. If you look at Wio, we are regulated by central bank, yeah, which is a great governance body. We are regulated, Wio Invest is regulated by ESCA, which is another great body. If you look at our shareholders, EN, Al Fadabi, ADQ, and Fab, all local strong companies who are here for a long time. Yeah. So I think for us, we provide a locally born solution backed by local companies, governed locally, so you know you're safe. Yeah. You see many ads on Instagram and stuff, and on Shikzad, but you don't know these companies. Yeah, you don't know these companies. You can come and knock at our doors, and we're there for you. Yeah,
Virtual door.
a virtual door. Yeah, we can visit us in the office, but I think it's important. Yeah, you work very hard to create wealth. You want to have access to it when things don't go right. Yeah, and I think that's a strength we have.
Okay, so we'll close it back again on the World Government Summit and the shaping future government and the role of government of enabling faster growth of different type of company and especially in the financial services. You've talked about digital identity, how government allow a launch of a digital identity accelerate, let's say the onboarding, KYC for a lot of the users. There are other initiatives from the Central Bank of the UAE has launched and launching an acceleration which also help, whether it's the ANI instant payment platform or the open finance initiative that has been launched. Also the government of the UAE on the drive of AI in general, different type of thematic launches and services and collaboration. It's open among private and public sector. I mean, okay, you mentioned that UAE is a great country to launch a business and it's been allowing you to be successful. But let's talk about a country X does not exist. And for somebody who would like to go and launch a digital bank in these markets, what are the key public-private partnership that is required to be in place in order for allow a business to launch, to thrive, and be profitable?
Yeah, look, I think there's when it comes to financial services, the most important thing is identity. Yeah, and we speak to a lot of countries as they visit the UAE to understand some of these ingredients. The first is the ability to have digital identity. And the second, I think the collaboration when it comes to data. Yeah, data when it comes to good things. Yeah, for example, credit lending and credit scores, but data when it comes to things that are not great, who are defaulters, who are fraudsters. Yeah, I think the sharing of information is absolutely critical. The foundation of a shared identity, I think, is a must for a digital business. Yeah, but then you start having various other partnerships and collaborations. For example, you can have multiple payments players, so payments become cheaper. In the UAE, like you said, we have ANI now. Yeah, ANI allows you to send money to a mobile number. So I think the infrastructure and the switches help. Yeah, for you to develop that. If you look at like India, UPI has accelerated growth phenomenally. Yeah, I think partnerships between fintechs, banks, and the government allows you to open up credit to a set of customers that never used to have this. Yeah, so I think for those countries, some of these key infrastructure plays are the most important assets. Yeah, digitization of the core infrastructure is what unlocks value, and I think there's many countries who are doing this well now.
Jayesh, it's been a great session. Thank you very much for opening up a lot of the information. I hope it was beneficial for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalifa.
Thank you.